Welcome back to Market Day Report. Well, we're hitting the final stretch, and I call myself Ag Bull Media. It looks like we have a little bit of a bull market in corn. Let's bring it up. The corn board, pretty exciting. You could hear it in my voice. Lions and tigers, oh my. Sep corn, 413 3/4, up 7 3/4. December corn, 428 3/4, up 6 3/4. I'll ask my guest to cue it up because I know he can hear me, but I'd love to know what the high of the week is, see if we're taking that out, see if Mr. Chris can have that ready for us. All right, let's continue. March corn, 444, up 6. Let's head over to soybeans. You're going to like this. Soybeans, Augie, 1052 1/4, up 22. That's right. That is the correct price. There is, your screens aren't broken. Sep soybeans, 1038 1/4, up 19 3/4. No beans, 1046 1/2. Earlier this morning, I said if beans got to 1050, you might have a little interest. 1075, you might see some harvest selling. Has something changed in the weather forecast? We'll have to see as Jeff constantly updates us on the weather on break. No soybeans, up 19, a good-looking board. Let's head to Chicago real quick, go through the wheats, and then we'll bring in our next guest. Sep wheat, and this was the one strong point yesterday, was the Board of Trade wheat. Sep wheat, 561. Up 12 cents. Dees wheat, 580, up 10 1/2. Let's head over to Kansas City real quick. Kansas City wheat, look at that, Sep, 541 1/2, up 10. I want to jump right to spring wheat, then cotton. Let's not waste any time. We got someone really intelligent as a guest. Of course, all our guests are intelligent. I kind of favor this guy because he's a friend from the Board of Trade. Sep, Minneapolis, up 14, 642. Let's head over to cotton country. Last I checked, we were up 50. Cotton backed off a little bit. Cotton, up 22. East Cotton, 68.38. Let's bring him in. Here he is, Chris Robinson. Robinson Ag Marketing, an old friend, a new friend. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Tom, good to be here.
What happened in beans? I was out there. We had some country stars in here. They're up 14, 15. They must have got nervous knowing you were coming in, huh?
Yeah. No, there was nobody left to sell. I mean, we hit multi-month lows yesterday. You had contract lows and these corn contract lows. Sep corn almost got a 3 print. I mean, we got to $4.25, and we turned around. So I think we just kind of have beaten the bear pretty much, into the ground. And we had that nothing burger report, right? That report was a really nothing burger. And I think that the final people that hadn't sold had already sold. This is one of, we talk about why do we hedge? Why do we hedge? A good hedge could have kept you from making a bad emotional decision. And then here we are a day later and we're, 10 cents, 12 cents off the bottom, recovering. I'm a big believer, and that's what hedges are really there to do. Hedges aren't there to make you a lot of money. Hedges are there to help you sit through the tough times so that when we have moves like this, you can take a shot at them. Now, we've got a lot of work to do. It's been a tough year so far. Don't want to go down that route again, but the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Hopefully this is the step. We haven't had a weather issue yet, Tom. And, you did mention the weather earlier. Possibly that's what's changed. I also think that getting the big, beautiful bill and the bits in there that are for the biodiesel, that's one reason I think we've kept actually a reasonable bid in new crop beans. And now you see new crop beans turn around. So it's a great Wednesday. We're heading into it's going to be a short week because of the holiday. And now it's in the hands of Mother Nature. But, this is what we need. Producers need this. It's been a difficult couple months.
Yeah. Isn't it a true statement that the most bullish thing out there is that the funds are really short?
Yeah, well, they're short corn and they're short wheat. Now, you mentioned wheat. Somebody stepped in there. There were 2-month lows yesterday in wheat. I mean, and you saw open interest, which means it jumped 10,000. Somebody stepped in there and bought that. End users, I think, are stepping in there buying it. There's some stories that the wheat crop in Russia, isn't as good as they say. That news is only as good as the person that's reporting it. But, the market's very, very oversold. And I think you see people in here stepping in here because if we do get a weather issue, Tom, it's going to happen in the next 6 weeks. I don't have my crystal ball. I lent it out years ago. I never got it back. But if we get a weather issue, this is the time of the year where that comes. So I think you see that stepping in there too. And yes, if the funds have to cover, they will buy it back. They don't care. They'll just hit that buy button until it's done. And what does it give the producers, the farmers, the guys that are watching and listening? It's going to give us an opportunity to make some moves, hopefully.
Yeah, you stay right there. We're going to make some moves. We're going to move to a commercial break. Then we're going to come back more with Chris Robinson here. We're going to talk cattle, and you're going to like that quote board too. Market Day Report. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Market Day Report. It's an exciting day. We're getting trade news. We're having just normal trade of buying and selling happening at the exchange. Yes, the pits are gone, but the screens are open. Let's head right to live cattle. We'll go through the quotes quickly. I want to get back to Chris Robinson. August live cattle, 211, up 65. This is about the same quote board as we had before. We're going right to feeder cattle because we have some breaking news here that's coming in the grain complex. Feeder cattle, August 307.40, up 137. Sep feeders, 307.20. And interesting board there, up 155, moving towards the highs. Last but not least, let's go to hogs, 107.67 in the Augie. Dees 83.95, down 12. August up a little. Hey, Chris, let's bring him back on, but I have some breaking news. This is from our friend PJ, who you know so well. Trade deal with Vietnam in the books. Politico says $2.98 billion in ag products to be bought. Not confirmed, but this is what's out there on the old interweb. What are you hearing?
Yeah, it's the beginning of hopefully a new trend. We really need to get China ironed out. I think that will go a long way towards helping beans and cotton. But yeah, it's about time. And yesterday, we saw, of all people, Italy decided to buy some soybeans from us. Now, typically that's not a big deal, but it just feels like maybe we've ridden this into the ditch too far. We're about to turn the corner. Hopefully we get some follow through, and it's a good Wednesday.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, tell people a little about yourself. I know you have that newsletter and you're a friend of the Cow Guy, but when was your last time in the pits, and when did you become so good at writing as you do every day?
You know what? My first job when I showed up to Chicago, I had a couple jobs when I was learning how to trade, and I worked for a newsletter, Optimum Investment Research. It was the blue sheets that went out. I did that for 6 years. For 6 years, I was an analyst there, and I've always kept doing my homework. And I used to share all my levels with guys in the pit. I used to do them before I came to work every day, and I've continued to do that. And that's what I put out every day. My key levels. I talk a little bit about what I think is going to happen technically, and yeah, I work with end users and producers now since 2010. I left the pit in 2009. I was friends with Mark Gold. I sat home for a year and needed to be in a room full of people, and went back down and started working with producers. So it was the best decision I ever made. I really enjoy working with producers. It's nice to be able to take experience and help somebody do a better job with their marketing.
A Robinson Ag Marketing little mini commercial. But I love you as a friend. I know you're a great broker. I have several clients who subscribe to your letter, but they still execute through me. So thanks for doing the homework, my friend. All right, back to Suzanne. He's one of the best.
He is one of the best, and always great to give him a plug and, of course, promote both of you guys, what you guys do on a regular basis outside of this.
I'm here to help.
I love it.